Hey everyone, Liz Miller, VP and Principal Analyst here at Constellation Research. And today I want to talk language. Now, very specifically, I want to talk about programming language because normally when I'd come and talk to you about language, it would be about communications. It would be about how are we creating all of these experiences, what language are we using to connect with our customers, with our employees, with our markets, with our partners. But today I want to dive deeper. I want to get into the programming languages that actually enable all of that to happen in this age of cloud and data and AI and digital. Because if we ignore the language, we're actually going to unintentionally ignore the experience, and none of us can afford to have that happen. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about a very specific language today because y'all know me. I took a giant sigh of relief when I realized I didn't have to take basic anymore in high school way back in the day. So for me to talk about programming languages, I get it. There's a giant eye roll happening out there somewhere, but stick with me. If you are on SAP, if you are running SAP like so many businesses are, your developers have been toiling away using a program language called ABAP. Now, I'm going to leave the actual pronunciation of the German terminology that was created over 40 years ago to my colleague Holger Mueller, who, by the way, has created some exceptional videos on this same topic. So please go check those out. But today, when you think ABAP, think the modern name, Advanced Business Application Programming. What does that mean? Think of ABAP as like the OG low-code, no-code friend that you didn't realize many of your developers were leveraging. This has been the way to create business applications that allowed developers to get from here to there. Now, I know that sounds crazy because as a marketer, how as a CMO, how would I get from here to there? From my goals and my business mandates through my technology into the data that I needed, into the systems that I needed? Well, I'd get my credit card out and I would take the long way. ABAP developers leverage ABAP to build the tunnel. They go the direct way through these business applications. And this might be something like a report. This might be something like workflow automations, right? This might be data migration. But in order to do what they need to do, we create these business applications to really bring all of the power of SAP and these platforms together. But arguably, as cloud exploded for SAP, some felt, and my colleague Holger would probably say to me, yeah, I agree. Some felt that ABAP kind of started to take a back seat to some of the other modern languages that people were very comfortable using on the cloud. There weren't many love notes being sent to the ABAP developer, but I'll tell you, there are a lot of ABAP developers out there. And if you go to any education program, you're going to see just how many training modules there are to bring ABAP developers really into this forefront of modern architecture. But that changed at the end of last year. In 2024, towards the end of the year, SAP dropped a big love note to ABAP developers. In fact, they integrated it into SAP Build, which is the location and destination for those who have migrated to SAP's cloud to create those advanced business programs and applications. So, what does that mean for folks like marketing, sales, folks on the front line for customer experience, maybe even finance, HR, for the business units? We're not going to go and learn ABAP. I'm not suggesting that we go do that. What I am suggesting is that we have very different conversations, that we stop thinking about the long way home and we start thinking about those things, those applications, all of the things that are running through our heads. I wish I could do. What if I could move? How about if this didn't have to happen in an automated in a manual fashion? And have deeper conversations with our IT teams and with our programming teams. Okay, first reason why I'm suggesting we do this. First is the cloud. We've been talking about cloud and taking advantage of all of the opportunities to move at scale and at a speed and at a velocity that takes advantage of compute and everything that cloud offers us. ABAP now in SAP Build gives us that trajectory. It gives us that opportunity to do. So when you are looking at maybe how much faster you want to move with the workflow, taking out that manual drudgery of moving data, being able to answer the question of why. We're going to be able to do that because our ABAP developers are now able to do that quickly and on the cloud. The second, it's this little term that I know none of you have heard. It's going to shock you, so please sit down. AI, heard of it? Listen, in order to get to all that goodness that we keep talking about with AI, we have to be able to get to our data. We have to be able to dream and think of those workflows. AI isn't just about creating a new email header. It's not just about a summarization of a call. AI is really about being able to write and engage and experience differently. So being able to take those manual pain in the butt processes and automate them to have those workflows actually come to life within our work. By leveraging ABAP, our teams of developers are going to be able to identify those and create those business applications so we can see that come to life. Let's say that you're on SAP and you want to take better advantage of SAP Joule. Guess what Joule's going to be able to draw off of now? It's all connected. Our language is the fundamental way, whether we are a digital environment, whether we are a cloud environment, or whether we're an executive team sitting around the board table. Language matters. It's what gets all of our systems to communicate and connect with one another. And our ABAP developers, they're the translators, right? They're the ones that are bridging those gaps and are making sure that those advanced business applications are actually available and working in harmony and not breaking because we unintentionally moved something. That's the power of when language gets put to structure and when language gets put to strategy. So have different conversations, ask different questions. And then yes, maybe go thrill and amaze your developers that you actually could say ABAP and have a conversation about it. If you want to learn more about it, I highly recommend both a blog post and a couple of videos. It's a video series that Holger Mueller has done in regard to some of the newest announcements and also in regard to why this is really important and also why it's really important to your ABAP developers. They haven't had many love letters recently, but they got a big one from SAP, and maybe it's time they get one from us.